Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general forecast for September 2018. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I'd like to take a second just real quickly to apologize to those who do watch my videos every month. I did not post last month. I got sick at the end of July. I did not actually start feeling well until August 12th. So I just kind of figured at that point I should just give myself a break, to fully recuperate and, then jump back in for September. So here I am. I'm better. My energy's great. So without further ado, it's not about me, it's about you. So let's get started. Okay. So, for the first card, this is Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Risings. We have the Hierophant in the reverse. So, this particular energy is very fitting of Aquarius to me, because this is rebellious type of energy, and not that there is anything wrong with that, because I actually love some rebelliousness. So, this is the Hierophant, so typically when it's in the upright position, we are dealing with things that are traditional, things that are conventional. And when we're in the reverse position like so, we are dealing with things that are unconventional, non-traditional, unorthodox, so to speak. So it's kind of like, you're like, you know what? I am not going to conform and fall into line with what you and you and you might think I should have to do. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do me. So this is definitely a little bit of that rebellious energy and saying, hey, I'm not going to conform. I'm going to do what I want. And, some people just, for us to be in certain people's lives, they want to make us to be able to fit inside of their perfect little box, and they expect us to conform to, their standards and their beliefs and their values, whatever it may be. And it's like these people expect you to just fall into line and conform for them. And you know what? That's when you just need to tell them to take that box and, shove it where the sun don't shine. Although I don't even need to say that to you guys, because you guys already know. So, you guys are definitely saying, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm literally going to march to my own beat. So, get away from me with your nonsense. Okay, so this is clarified by the Knight of Coins in reverse. So when the Knight of Coins is in reverse, this is a very scattered type of energy. This Knight tends to not be able to follow through on commitments that have been made previously. And it's not necessarily because you don't want to, it's just sometimes circumstances can get in the way. And especially if somebody's, wanting you to fall into line, conform, you're more likely to rebel and be like, no, I'm going to do it my way. Now, a lot of times with this card in the reverse position like so, this is definitely indicating that there are some issues regarding money, work, maybe even some sort of real estate type of project. Finances. This is a financial card. And so it's like these things are being delayed. And it's like it appears that things are just not moving, like everything's at a standstill. And so this can really be kind of disheartening to go through this. And sometimes there's a tendency for us to just withdraw, sometimes from certain people, sometimes just in general, because we're not happy about going through this. Now, sometimes this can indicate that we could be behaving in an irresponsible fashion, which that's going to resonate with some of you, and for some of you it won't. So do be careful, you know. Totally get not wanting to do certain things and not wanting to fall into line for certain things, but, you know, responsibility is a major thing. We don't want to be pushing our responsibilities off on other people. We can also see commitments falling through under this type of energy as well. You know, this is one of those nights where he has seen his fair share of hard knocks in life, you know. And some of you may be resonating with that. Maybe you're going through a very difficult time right now in regards to, you know, a job or, you know, finances. But hey, this too shall pass. It will. So for the circumstances, we have the Eight of Swords in the reversed position. So this is actually a lot better being in the reversed position. But it also gives me a hint that some of you guys were probably going through some issues where you were having a bit of indecision and maybe feeling restricted by some fear and feeling like you were not able to make a choice. Sometimes you might feel like a choice has been made for you. But overall, this card shows us being released from a mental prison of sorts in which we created with our fear. And so therefore we feel completely restricted. And then, you know, we're finally able to make a decision where we need to make a decision, and we're not having to deal with that fear constantly hounding at us. So that's really a good thing. So you've been released from the restriction and the fears, you know, that are just trying to eat away at our brains, you know. But don't worry, it's in the reverse position, so, you know, you're being released from this. But a lot of times what we need to realize is that this is really more self-imposed. And, you know, we tend to do this because we have certain choices, certain things happen to us, and then we have to make a decision. And then fear just kind of grabs a hold of us, and then we're literally almost like we're locked in our mind and we just can't make that choice because fear is just throwing every, you know, worst case scenario into our conscious thoughts. So thankfully, like I said, this you know, this is no longer the case. You are free from all of that. So you can think clearly, you can make your decisions clearly, and you don't have to worry about that fear. That's good. Now, for the focus card, we have the World. So this tells me that you guys are very much focused on success. This is a card where it's like we've had to learn so many lessons in our life. And a lot of them are karmic. And it's almost like, you know, I have been through this, I've been through that, you know, when am I going to get my success? When am I going to get what I want? I've been through all of this. When is it going to be my time, you know? Well, with the World card here, this is amazing because this is, you know, the universe acknowledging, yes, you have been through many lessons and you have learned your lessons, and success can be yours. So, with this card, just pick one goal, something that you really, really want to achieve. And, then find a way to take action, even if it's a small action, towards actually achieving this goal. Because we can make goals all day long, but if we don't put action behind it, then that's just called wishful thinking. So if you pick a goal and you go after it, well, this World card is a very good significator of you could be successful in achieving the very thing that you want. But you must work for it. What's the saying? Faith without action is useless. Similar. Very similar. But it is a card of karmic reward, so it's like a job well done. So, whatever you want, like I said, write it down. Remind yourself, a few times a day, daily if you have to. And then, find an action that you can do to help achieve that goal. Even if it's a small action, we have to start. We just have to take that first step and then keep going. But you can definitely achieve it. Now, this would be your recent past. So, with this particular card, this could be either a male or a female that you could have been dealing with in your recent past. And for some of you, this card could be indicating the type of energy that you were going through in your recent past. So it's going to be one or the other. You'll know where you fit. So with the King of Wands in reverse, this is a card where this king is lacking confidence. See, when he is in the upright position, he has all the confidence in the world. He knows he can do. He knows that he can do it. He can achieve it. He can have it. He is a leader. But when he is in the reverse position, this is where the confidence has went out the door. He doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't believe that, things are going to go his way. Sometimes this is where we can actually see his more argumentative type of side come out, where, he's just upset that things are not working out for him, and it's like it's been working his self-esteem. So his self-esteem is like dropping because he's not able to achieve what he wants, and it's having an effect on his self-esteem and his self-confidence. And this is very much a card of what I would consider self-sabotage. And if it's not self-sabotage, then it's one who sabotages events. Now, some of that may resonate, and maybe it doesn't. And again, this could be someone that some of you could have been dealing with. And again, this can be male or female. It is a possibility that they could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they don't have to be. Or again, this could be some energy that you were going through. But typically, the King of Wands, he loses his confidence because things are just not coming together. He's not able to achieve his goal. Things are at a standstill, and he just cannot handle that. And then sometimes he becomes, really argumentative. Sometimes we can also see excessive pride, overconfidence, arrogance when he's in the reverse position as well. And we definitely want to avoid overconfidence and pride. I mean, not that we can go back and change anything now, but hey, we can always learn from our past and not make the same mistakes, you know. So yeah, pride and overconfidence can definitely, you know, be our own enemy sometimes. Okay, so this would be the present, the here and the now energy. So we have the Page of Swords. So for some of you, this could be speaking about a child. It could be your child. This could simply be indicating someone who is younger than you. Or we could just be going with the actual energy. Okay, so with this card, there tends to always be an element of there's more than meets the eye. There's something else going on beneath the surface. So it's like we end up getting some unexpected information or some unexpected news. Sometimes this can actually indicate spying, receiving information from a third party. And these are the types of things that we're typically not supposed to know, but we find out about them. This card to me also really kind of, because you know the pages can represent children. So to me this card's kind of like, hey, don't tell mom, but you know, so it's kind of like a flight away from a dishonorable act. Now this could be something that you're on the receiving end of, or you know, you could be on the giving end of it. You know, this can go either way. And again, for some of you, this could just be about the overall energy that you're in, or this could be actually indicating someone who has come into your life and brought you some information that could be a bit unexpected. It could actually be, you know, a little strange as well. But most of all, you know, it could be secret information. And sometimes that information comes through spying. Third party info. But again, there's more than meets the eye about this situation. You know, and sometimes disappointing news, you know, can come up here, but just be optimistic, okay? As hard as that can be sometimes, we just really need to try to focus on what we want, you know, our goals, you know, not about what we're going through, which, you know, that's so much easier said than done. I get it. We've all been there. But, you know, it does help if we try to focus on what we want and what we know we're going to achieve, rather than what we're going through that could potentially be negative. For some of you, it may not be extremely negative, but for some of you, this could be information that you learn about a child, or it could be information that you learn about your child. For some of you, this could be finding out that, you know, a child of yours may have been keeping a secret from you. But again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a child. This could be indicating an adult that brings you information. Maybe the adult is a little bit younger than you. But no matter what, you know, with it being the Page of Swords, there is you know, the desire to speak and communicate is so strong that, you know, it would, you know, whatever it is, it's going to be said. So it is clarified by the Six of Cups. So this, to me, automatically speaks of past ties. So this information could have something to do with your past, your childhood. This information could have something to do with, you know, say maybe an old lover. an old friend, you know, someone maybe that you have been friends with for ages. This information will definitely have ties to your past, though. Now, with this being in the reverse, sometimes this can indicate, you know, that we end up having memories from the past that are not so great. And this can also sometimes indicate wishful thinking, where we want to somehow return to the past, or like we want things to be the way they were in the past in a certain situation. And well, that, you know, can just be wishful thinking, and that won't do us any good, so we definitely don't want to do that. Now, another element to this card here is, this is the card of siblings. It can indicate siblings, it can indicate cousins, and it can also indicate just friends, old lovers. As long as they have a tie to your past, and specifically your childhood, this is where the information is coming in from. It has ties to the past. And when we look at the cards, you know, there's two children on here. So for some of you, I feel like this really might have something to do with your children. But that's not going to be for everybody. Those who resonate with that message will get that message. But no matter what, there is some sort of tie to the past with the information that's coming forward. So, for the near future, we have the Judgment card. So, anytime I see this Judgment card, I know that there is a big decision coming. There is a big decision coming. We're going to have to make a choice. And this is the type of choice decision here where it can really affect us long term. This can be the type of decision that changes our life. But no matter what, it's going to be a decision, you know, that's going to have a very long-term effect. So we want to make sure we make the right decision. So thankfully, Judgment is in the upright position, so that's a good thing. Now, sometimes this card can actually have something to do with actual judgment. So for some of you, if you are going through some sort of legal issues, this could definitely be indicating that. For some of you, you know that there's a big shift coming, and you're going to have to make a choice on what to do, how to handle it, how to deal with the situation. And you need to make the choice that is best for you, and only you know what's going to be the best for you. But just remember that this will be a choice that, you know, will have long-term effects. So just keep that in mind when you're making the decision. So when I was clarifying, I had two clarification cards fall out. The first one is the Five of Cups. So this is a card that shows that there's been a loss and a disappointment with someone that you love, or potentially with something that you love. See, she is just sitting there focused. She's focused on the Three Cups before her that are broken. You know, and she has her head down, and she's not even realizing that there are two full cups behind her. And these two full cups behind her are representing hope, because things will get better. And that's why those two cups are there, indicating that you will heal from this. You know, sometimes we can see a relationship comes to an end. You know, someone may leave abruptly. You know, there could be a bit of feeling disillusioned a little bit. But it's definitely an end and a disappointment with something or someone you love. Now again, this love, I want to be clear, because not every Aquarius sun, moon, and rising wants to be in a relationship or is in a relationship. So this could be pointing towards platonic love. So, you know, it could be about a friendship. Someone could have let you down in a friendship. For some of you, this could be about a business partnership. But you would have a lot of history with this person, and you would care about this person deeply. But you need to realize that things are going to get better. And because of this situation, you're going to have to make a choice on how you're going to move forward. Now, the next card that came out was the Emperor. So, the Emperor card is also the Father card. So, for some of you, issues with your father could come up under this type of energy. For some of you, you might have to make a decision in regards to your father. Or, you know, this could be about an older male, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Now, more times than not, when I see the Emperor card in the upright position, and then we have the Judgment card, these are both major arcana cards. So, the Emperor to me is saying, hey, it's time to be the authority. It's time to take control. You need to make your choice on how we're going to proceed forward. Step into your position of power and own that authority. You know, take back control of your life. Because you have the power. You have the ability to do that. You don't have to stay in any negative or toxic situations. Some of you could be experiencing that. Some of you could be leaving them by your own choice, and some of you could be left and then you may feel disillusioned. But you know, when we see the Emperor, this is saying, hey, it's time to take control. You're the authority on your life, okay? It's time to step into your personal power and get things together, because you got a choice to make. I'm liking the fact that the Emperor actually came out, because to me it really makes me feel like you guys are going to take control. You are going to step into your power. You will be your authority. You know, for some of you, this could actually be about taking on a position of authority. You know, maybe some of you might have some sort of job offer, and that could be a potential choice you need to make. Do you want to be in a position of power? Just remember that this decision is one that is, you know, it's going to have long-standing effects on our life. It's one of those big life decisions. It's not a decision that can be undone, you know, so just don't be impulsive. We want to think this through and make the right decision. So definitely don't be impulsive when you make your decision, because sometimes that can get us in a wee bit of trouble. So, but I got faith in you guys. And I'm actually liking this position because I'm feeling like a lot of you who haven't been living in your true personal power and awareness, you're coming into it. You're going to step into it. And that makes me really, really happy. And I'm not saying that you guys haven't been. I'm just saying there are some of you who haven't been. But that's going to change. Sometimes, Aquarius, y'all just don't get enough respect. And sometimes some people just don't understand, and some people just don't want to. And you know what? They need to just find that door and go. Bye-bye. We don't need those people. Okay, so this would be your attitude. So we have the Page of Wands in reverse. So clearly we're dealing with delays. Perhaps some of you are waiting on some news regarding maybe some finances. Maybe it's about a job. Maybe it's about higher education. Maybe it's about your own children. And this news is either delayed, or the news that comes in could potentially be disappointing. And I'm feeling that it's strongly linked with the present position and then the near future. Now, don't shoot the messenger, but I have noticed that there are three pages. The Page of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Page of Cups, which I have not made it to yet. But anytime I see multiples of the pages popping out in one reading, then this lets me know that we're either dealing with issues that are related to our own childhood, or we're dealing with issues regarding our children, or some of us could be behaving a bit on the immature side. So again, don't shoot the messenger. That's not going to resonate with everyone, but those who it resonates with will receive the message. And I'm not at all judging, because everything that we all go through, we all have our own personal journeys, and we don't have the right to judge others, because we don't know what each person is going through. And when you go through so many delays and challenging situations, sometimes our not so better side can emerge. And so if you do resonate with this, and you know that you've been maybe dealing with things in not the best way, you can self-correct when you're ready. Or maybe just hearing this might help you to self-correct. But I feel like it all stems from the issues that you're going through. But we definitely want to try to find that balance so that we make the right decisions for where we are. And any situations that come our way, we're ready to handle them in a mature fashion. And just know, while delays and things not coming to fruition, that you've been waiting on, I get it. It's totally frustrating. But when we have delays like these, I look at delays like they have a great purpose. Even though they don't feel great, a delay can actually be protecting us from something that we can't see because it's further up the road. So sometimes when we get shut out from, a particular opportunity, sure, that's disheartening. It is. But I always look at it like there's a much deeper reason for it, And typically it's because you're being protected, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like protection, it is. We're being protected from something much worse, or perhaps maybe we're being protected from something that's not really going to be as fulfilling as we thought it would be. Now, this would be how other people see you. So we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. I always refer to this card as the Emotional Choices Wish card. Now, with it being in the reverse position, this indicates that you have already made a choice in regards to emotional choices. So you've made an emotional choice, and you made the choice that you feel is best for you. And to me, that's another positive indicator here with the Judgment card and the Emperor. You've made the choice that is the right choice for you. So things will be set into motion. Now, this would be our hopes and our fears. Sometimes this can be hopes or fears from our subconscious mind, and sometimes they can actually be conscious. So with the Two of Swords, this definitely indicates a decision that needs to be made, and we've hit a point of stalemate. We're at that point of indecision. And it's an emotional choice, as we see the water here behind this young woman. And the water represents our emotions. So it is a decision that we have to make that will affect our emotions. And see, she actually puts this blindfold on herself willingly, because she wants to use her third eye to make this decision. But she also wants to take her time with this particular decision, because she wants to weigh the pros and the cons of each choice. And she wants to make sure that she's going to make the right choice for her. So it seems like another decision's coming. We've already got a lot. Okay, yeah. I believe this will be the next decision. Okay, so for the final outcome card, we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is where we can receive some news. Sometimes this can actually be a physical letter. Sometimes it can be, an email. Maybe it's a text message. Maybe it's a personal message on, a social network site. Maybe it's even a phone call. But these messages can be either about romance, or they can be from someone who is trying to help and encourage you. So it's either messages that are very, very encouraging and uplifting for us, or they are messages that have a romantic context to them. So sometimes this can bring someone forward who might be interested in a relationship. For some of you, this may not be about a relationship. For some of you, this could be someone that you're related to. You know, and maybe this person wants to help you with your situations. Now, the Page of Cups very much has an open heart. The Page of Cups is also one of those really intuitive psychic cards as well. Pisces would be very fitting of this card. We see all these fish. And she's wearing this heart necklace, so she has an open heart. So it is clarified by the Ace of Cups in reverse. So when the Ace of Cups is in reverse, a rushing out of emotion has taken place. The cup is now empty. Now this can indicate that perhaps maybe we're not so open with our heart. And you know, sometimes that happens because we've been hurt. And so we're having a hard time trusting. Maybe we're, you know, still trying to heal from a situation we've already come out of. And we're trying to find our balance. You know, sometimes this can be about having a fear of commitment. But anytime I see an ace, no matter what ace it is, when it's in the reverse position, it's like we're being blocked. There's a block somewhere that's preventing us from bringing the ace to the upright position. So for some of you, this Page of Cups person could actually help so that we can turn this in the upright position. But again, you know, to each his own. You have to make the choice that's right for you and where you are. With the Ace of Cups in the reverse position, for those of you who do end up having someone, you know, send you some sort of communications, you know, that are romantic, you know, maybe you're just not ready for a relationship. Maybe you're still trying to heal. Maybe you've had a lot of bad experiences and you're just not open to it right now. Maybe you just don't want to be. You know, maybe it's an issue with, you know, I'm not really ready to commit. I'm not really ready for something serious. You know, this can play out many different ways. This could also indicate, because the Ace of Cups is very much about psychic ability as well, but when it's in the reverse, it's like our abilities are being stunted, or we're not working on them to improve them. But again, this is a blockage. And you know, so for those of you who do have someone try to court you, so to speak, for a relationship, you know, some of you might be really ready for that. But perhaps this relationship could be one that takes a while to get off the ground. You know, the Ace of Cups in reverse could be indicating that, you know, it's going to be a really rocky start. And so things are not necessarily guaranteed to work out, because we are at the beginning. It's an ace. It can, you know, but no matter what, this can indicate, you know, that there's going to be a rocky start, or it could be a relationship that's just going to take a while to get it off the ground, so to speak. But we also need to make sure that there are not any major commitment issues. You know, for some of you that don't want to be in a relationship, you might want to discuss this in depth with the person. At least if you truly care about them, you know. At the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your life. And you need to do what you feel is best for you. And only you know what that is. You know, like I was saying, I feel like I've become a broken record here, but, you know, only you know what's best for you. And that's the blunt of it right there. And you got to make the right choice for where you are right now. If you're not ready, it's okay. It's okay, you know? You don't have to be on anyone's, you know, time agenda other than your own. If they don't like it, then, you know, move along. You don't want anybody that's going to try to force something that you don't want. Some people are super patient and then other people are not. So, okay, so, bottom of the deck. Well, this is you guys, Aquarius. This is the Queen of Swords in reverse. So, this definitely indicates that you guys are out of balance. So when we see the Queen of Swords in reverse, it's like emotion is sitting in the driver's seat and basically got a hold of the steering wheel. So we're more likely to make decisions emotionally rather than intellectually. So we're out of balance. The intellect and the emotion are not in balance anymore. And the emotion is in control. And sometimes we're not going to make the best decisions when we're out of balance. But given this clarification card, I can see why you guys are going to be emotionally out of balance. Okay? Now with this, you know, Queen being in the reverse, she's definitely gone through some sort of upset, some sort of loss. We can definitely say loss with this particular clarifying card. And so this can definitely color your perception of things. Sometimes it can be like we're wearing a pair of rose-colored spectacles. We only see things from our own personal viewpoint. And, well, Aquarius, you know, we're supposed to be looking at things from the collective point. And when Queen of Swords is in the reverse, then that viewpoint is very narrow. You need to beware. Like I said, I totally understand why you guys are out of balance, but we do need to be careful of what we say to, you know, the people that we care about and love. Because sometimes it's easy to just say something, and even though you don't really mean it, somebody could take it as something much deeper, and even though you didn't mean it like that, it could be very hurtful and offensive to the person on the receiving end, and you may have not even meant it the way that they took it. So, you know, miscommunications can really come up here, because it's really hard to focus on, you know, how is everybody else going to receive what I say, you know, because you're going through your own stuff, you know, so you're kind of focused on your own situation. Now, it's clarified by the Nine of Swords, so this is very much anxiety, depression. This is going through a loss, okay? So something is definitely been lost. You know, this is where we can see a divorce that could happen. A relationship is severed. Again, a relationship that could be romantic, one that could be platonic. In regards to romantic relationships and or marriages, sometimes we can see deception and or infidelity is an issue. Not with every situation, but I have to mention it. This card can also be a card of, and let me just be clear saying this, this is not going to be for every one of you, okay? And for those of you that this resonates with, you will know exactly who you are. So I don't want anybody taking on an energy and being worried when there's no reason to start worrying. Okay, now for a few of you, this is definitely going to indicate that, you know, someone has passed and you could be dealing with that loss. And for those of you who have lost someone, I'm going to say my deepest condolences. Now, for the rest of you, this loss can be many different things. But most of all, this is a card of, you know, conditions that could be almost traumatic-like. But the very thing that this card ends up bringing us to is once we make it through this energy, then we can actually see just how strong we really are, knowing that we can overcome, you know, trauma in our own life. You know, I'm going after that silver lining here because it's very important, you know, because this is a heavy card here. So just know that you will heal. And with this healing, you'll know that you can make it through a lot. It provides us with a lot of personal growth. But, you know, this personal growth does, you know, cause some pain, unfortunately. You know, because this is a card, you know, where crying and, you know, or sleep. Sometimes we can't even escape the issues when we go to sleep. And then sometimes it can be, you know, nightmares. And then we're so sick and tired of the actual nightmares that then we're dealing with insomnia. Because we don't want to go to sleep and have nightmares because we're already going through it, you know? Now, for some of you, this isn't going to be a huge loss, and then for some of you, it's going to be a bigger loss. But no matter what, no matter how big or how small this loss is to you personally, you are going to heal from it, and you're going to be so much stronger for it. Because you will overcome this situation. You will. You absolutely will. And this is why I said I totally understand why you guys would be out of balance. And so for my people who like to cross watch, if you are close with someone who is Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, and Aquarius or Aquarius Rising, and you know they're going through situations like this, you know, if they happen to be a bit more moody and maybe saying some things that are hurtful, please just try to have compassion and understand that they're in a, you know, they're going through a lot, you know. Try to give them the benefit of the doubt. They may not mean it the way that it comes across if they say something. Some of them might mean it, and some of them may have not meant it the way in which we received it. So just try to be careful of that, and, you know, be mindful of it, and, you know, try to give the benefit of the doubt. Okay. I do have plenty of people that cross-watch, so I'd just like to give those messages to those people. That way they can be on alert, and that way, you know, they can know how to better handle the situation if it arises. Okay, so you guys may notice that I don't have any love oracle cards laid out. If you watch my videos every month, then you know that I normally lay a few out. A few for the singles, a few for those that are married or in a relationship. And I haven't done that this month. So, because I really prefer to put my focus on the most important part, and that is the general reading. I provide personal love readings, you know, for a fee. But I just wanted to get your guys' feedback. If you want me to continue to do the love oracle cards for the free monthly readings, then just drop a comment below and say, please do the love oracle cards next month. Some of you may miss them, some of you may not care either way. So, you know, just let me know if this is something that you want me to bring back. Then just let me know. I don't really go in depth on these free monthly readings with the love oracle cards, so it's, you know, pretty basic, you know, but some people like it, some don't, and I'm just trying to get some opinions this month. So do let me know your feedback in regards to, do you want me to bring the love oracle cards back or not? Or, you know, some of you may just be happy with this. So just let me know if you want to see them back. Drop a comment below. Alright. Keep your head held high, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings, okay? If you're going through this, keep your head up. This too shall pass. It will. And you are going to be so much stronger. And just look at it like, if you feel that a lot of this has been negative, then just kind of look at it like it's a bit of a karmic cleanse. But that karmic cleanse leads to us getting those new starts and our success, because the success is at the very focus. So it is at the root of this month's reading. So ultimately, that is where we want to end up, is achieving our success, our goal. So it has its purpose. No one's life is perfect, so I wish they were, but you know, it's just not. But keep your heads up. This too will pass. It will. And like I said, y'all are going to be so much stronger for it. And success. You're going to find that success. And you deserve it. You guys deserve it. So I love you guys. And I'm sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love. Talk to you next month.